Even had myself in there. It felt so long, do you know what I mean? But yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV. I'm your host, Jem. Let's cue the intro.
Don't know how I'm here, and it's you that I want and need. You feel your heartbeat. You feel somewhere you're looking good. You feel your heartbeat. You feel somewhere you're looking good.
Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV. Hope you're all well. Hope everyone's having a lovely Friday wherever it is you may be around the world. Look, we're gonna go through the player rating show. It was a bit late yesterday. I was gonna try and do it at like 11, 12 o'clock, and I thought might be a bit too late for people, you know. So yeah, no, I'm here now. Let's talk about it. Let's delve into it. I want you to get your comments in. I want you to give us your ratings per player. I want you to give me your man the matches. We're going to talk about Tuchel. We're going to talk about the style that he has implemented onto the players and how we feel he's done in the first sort of week or so. It's going to be a big show. And obviously the most important thing was us getting the W yesterday. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to give you a bit of a breakdown of my thoughts of the game. But before we do that, please smash that like button. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and please share out in the world. Share the love, people. Share the love. Let's go through some of these chats quickly. There's 18 of you here right now. Let's try and get them likes up to 20, yeah? 20, 25, if possible, people. Daniel says, let's go. Beating Spurs always puts a smile on my face. We hate Spurs. That is true. Yes, people. Man like Jem. Big up to Blue FT216. Big up to Winter Surf, who's in the house as well. He says, let's go, bro. Ski. Let's do this. Let's do this. London is blue. Origi over Werner. Leave it out. Velshran, I know what you're doing. Big up to you, Mustafa, as well. Hope you're well. What else we got here? We destroyed the Spuds. I call them Spuds. The Spuds. What else we got here? Mason Mount, man of the match, is what Dujon says. Big up to Concierge, man of crime. I haven't seen him in a while around here. How you doing, my bro? He says Cover as man of the match, completely ran the midfield. We're going to go through it. I want you all to give me your ratings per individual, per player. We have got some panelists that will join us as well, hopefully, as we go along. It's a bit of a tricky one in the afternoons because people are working, this, that, and the other. So I appreciate people who haven't always got the time. But one thing is for sure, you viewers do keep this channel going. I tell you, without you, we would be talking to ourselves. Let's be serious. Spurs are so shit, is what Lansley says. Yeah, to be fair, Lansley, West Ham, man. Look how they're playing at the moment. Impressive, bro. Impressive. We finally got a win. Must-win game. Yeah, I agree. Henderson over Mustafa. Henderson over Mendy is what he says there. I don't know about that one. Drogba's in the house. Big up to you, my bro. Hope you're well. Please smash that like button, people. There's 20 of you here right now with us at the moment. Please smash it. Mourinho, new tactic, putting up people to say. Gio, man. You crack me up, man. That is true. And this is the other thing. Is Mourinho done? Is he? Has he been found out? Is his formations just a fossil formation? I think he's just too naive. I really do. I think he's just too naive to even look into his formation and realise that he can't play like he did at 04 with Chelsea. He hasn't got the same mould of players. You know, he's took over this Spurs team, who in my eyes are average. They've got 2/3 very good players, top players. But then you go through their squad. Other than that, their squad is dead. Their squad is actually dead. Like, it's not good. And when they're going out, when you got Spurs fans saying they want Mourinho out, Mourinho's the best thing since sliced bread for them. Trust me. Like, Mourinho is a top manager, but he's outdated. He's literally outdated. And his style of football, his formations, his everything is just dried up. And he's too naive to see that. And look, they are in a final. Let's be serious. They're in a final against Man City, which I don't think they're going to win. I've said I do not think they will win. But we'll have to see what happens. There's 24 of you here. Smash that like button, people. We're going to do the player ratings very soon. I'm just going to go through this quickly. We're going to go through some of these chats quickly, and then I'm going to talk about the game, and then we'll do the player ratings. We need to be more clinical. 2 shots on target from 18 is nowhere near good enough. Chelsea boy, that is true, bruv. That is true. We have to be more clinical. The only thing I would say is let's not criticise Tuchel too much yet, because he's only been there a week. He's literally been there 1 week. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it's like the most important thing was the win. We got the win. Could we have done better in the opposing half? Of course we could have. Was we moving the ball very well? Yes. Did we dominate them in terms of possession? Yes. Did we look solid at the back? When Thiago Silva got injured, I panicked. I was like, oh no. We're in trouble. We're actually in trouble. Do you know what I mean? And Christensen come in, who I don't rate, and I'm sure a lot of Chelsea fans here do not rate, came in and he done the job. You got to give it to him. Sal says, Jem, you got to be fair now. Jorginho was really good again under Tuchel. Look, people keep calling me out. People keep calling me out about Tuchel. Yeah, Monster, welcome, bro. Hope you're well.
Hey, bro.
You're muted. Oh yeah, you're there. That's cool.
Oh, what's good, bro?
Just quickly. Yeah, not bad, bro. Not bad, my man. Not bad. Sal, look, he was good. I know people think I carry a Jorginho agenda. I do not carry a Jorginho agenda. Yeah, I just don't think he's performed to the level that he should have in the past under Chelsea. I think he's been found out in many games, and it might be to do with managers and their tactics and their formations. Maybe you're right, but under Tuchel, he's playing very well. Very, very well so far. But still begs the question for me with Jorginho. What happens when you come against a team that are going to pressurise you, going to put you under pressure in games when he hasn't got enough time on the ball to be able to look up and, this is where I want to see. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it was good. Spurs, let's be serious. Spurs yesterday were shit. They were shit. I've never seen, and we only beat them 1-0. And Eric Dyer won us that game. Otherwise, we would have drawn that game. Let's be serious. Yes, we dominated the game. However, we need to be more clinical, but we'll come back to that in a minute. Putting 10 players behind the ball, of course, it was going to be a boring game, but the game did it at Stamford Bridge. Yeah, he did do it at Stamford Bridge. That is very, very, very true. Monster, how are you, my man? Anyway, what's happening? Anything new?
Good, man. Good win.
Yeah,
good win, good performance. We could have scored more, should have scored more, but at the end of the day, we did still win, so I can't really complain.
Yeah, and look, it's only been a week, and that's why I said I'm not going to be too heavily critical of it. I do think I'm surprised how quick we've actually adapted. Does that surprise you in terms of how quick in 1 week he's got them playing in a certain way and sort of getting the shackles of the Lampard formations out of their system in many ways?
He's a good manager. Do you know what I mean? He's a very, very good manager. I think, as we all thought, we've all said it that we will be competing for the title, or we should have been competing for the title because of how good our players are. But unfortunately, the manager at the time just wasn't up to scratch. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
He just wasn't. He wasn't necessarily good enough. I know that's it's a tough pill to swallow for a lot of Chelsea fans, but it's just, unfortunately, it's just the truth, isn't it? So yeah, man.
Yeah, and do you know what? This is true. Reece James was very good yesterday, but I think every player was good yesterday in my eyes. Even Christensen. When Thiago Silva pulled up, I shit myself. I was like, oh my God. But the people were like, nah, he'll be all right. He'll come in. He'll fit into Tuchel's pattern. And what did you think of Christensen yesterday, Monster? Do you think he surprised you?
No, he was decent. He was decent, innit? But he's just come off the bench, so I would want to see him in more games if Thiago Silva is out, innit?
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's going to be a good 3 weeks at least, isn't it? Big up to Gabriel says Kovacic's class. We're going to get into the ratings very, very soon. I'm just trying to so many comments, bruv. It's like hard to get through them all. That is Lambs. He says,
big up Lambs.
Yeah, big up Lambs. Big up Lambs. Igal's in the house as well. Big up to my guy. Hope you are well, my man. God, there's so many, Monster. What's this about you? EGTV did Monster what? I've just lost it. Where'd it go? Oh, no, I hate this. You know when you're on your laptop, Monster, it's hard because I'm using more.
Igal was at my house yesterday. That's why they asked.
Was he actually at your house? I thought that was a joke.
Yeah, he was. Bro, did you
what the hell was he doing at your house?
Did you not see him on my stream? That picture
No,
was not
no.
played.
What?
You saw the picture though, right?
I saw the picture, but I thought it was like made up or
Photoshop.
something. You know, like some
Nah, it
clips or
wasn't.
something.
It wasn't. It wasn't. He was here yesterday.
Why did he go to your house, bruv?
No,
What is he doing in your
he just
house?
came to pick up something, man, and we chilled for a minute. Played a little FIFA as well.
That's nice. That's nice, man. I have to do the same once. I'm only down the road from you. Literally, I'm about
Oh,
45
you?
minutes from you. 40. Yeah.
Oh, you're in Essex, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm in
I mean,
South London. Yeah, yeah, it's not too far away.
takes me 45 minutes, man. 45 minutes.
Yeah,
Wait till this COVID blows over, bruv. We're definitely linking up. Definitely going out.
1000%.
But let's move on anyway. There's so many comments, and I just literally can't get through them. Let's just get into it. Right. Let's start with man like Mendy. What we
Mm.
saying, Monster? Again, he didn't have much to do, did he? Really?
Didn't really, he didn't really have much to do. Picked up balls from set pieces, and also what else did he do? I think he had like one save or one important save. I can't remember. So yeah,
Yeah.
he took what? Do you want me to give him a rating?
Yeah, just give him a rating out of 10. What you feel out of 10 was.
7 or 8, 7 or 8, or maybe just a 7. Like maybe a 7 because he didn't really do much.
Yeah, I mean, people were saying sevens. You got sevens. We got a 7 from Hassan. We got a 7 from Velvishran. Sorry, we got a 4 from Velvishran. We got a 7 from Daniel. We got a 7 from Strip Bear. We got a 7 from Stephen. Yeah, so for me, I would give him a 6. I mean, he did do something really dodgy. I don't know if you saw it, but the ball came to him and he went to pass it to Jorginho out the blue. Like it was like the most, and the Son nearly took it off him and scored as well. Like Jorginho had to stretch because he'd nearly done us over. But he's got that in his game. Unfortunately, it's in his locker. He's got a habit of doing that. From what I've seen so far, 6 from Massey B. Chelsea fan says, "Big up Gemma Monster. Big up to you, Chelsea fan. Hope you are well." Yeah, there's not really much to say about him, to be honest. So we'll move on with
Yeah,
that, and we'll go on to. Well, I'm going to bring Thiago Silva up, even though he got injured, because I want to talk about him a bit. Yes, he got injured. Obviously, when he was on the pitch, he looks solid, Monster. It looks
yeah,
like he's going to be out for at least 3 weeks because I think it's a hamstring, to be honest, minimum. Are we going to miss him?
big time. If we don't, if he's gone, we are going to miss him big time.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna. Well, we got Christian. This is the problem with the whole Tamori thing, and this is why people are going mad. Now we got.
Jem,
Go on, bro.
continue. I've just got to quickly check something.
Yeah, go on, bro. Yeah, this is the problem with the whole Tamori thing. You know, we've let him go for no blooming reason. In that sense, we've got Christensen coming in. He's got an opportunity to prove Tuchel that he's the man to step in. Obviously, Zuma was injured yesterday as well. So, Thiago Silva, for me, will always be a 6, 7, 8. I'm going to give him an 8. Even he got injured, he was an 8 while he was on the pitch. He's just solid. It keeps them organised. He works well with Aspie. He looks good next to Rudiger as well. Rudiger's been playing very, very well. So for me, Thiago Silva's going to be missed. He's making... Like I said, he's making people like Rudiger look good. And he's made Aspie's obviously enjoying playing next to him because why? Because it's another leader. It's someone to shout, someone to be vocal, someone that's just so calm on the ball. Every time the ball gets whipped into him, he's always doing the right thing with it. He's a top player. For me, he got injured, but he's still an 8 for me. I don't care. He's that good for me at the moment. Let's go on to Alonso, Monster, because a lot of people were obviously shocked with him playing. It's like Tuchel's sort of favoured him over Chilwell recently. Do you think he played well again, or do you think he just had an average game? Alonso?
He was all right. He was all right. He did nothing really wrong. He was decent defensively as well. So I would give him about a 7 or 8, maybe 7.5.
Do you think we're going to get the same Alonso that we got out of Conte through Tuchel? Do you think you're going to get that with Alonso?
Alonso doesn't change. He's still going to be the same Alonso. If we're playing in a back 3, we're going to get the same Alonso. If we're playing in a back 4, keep him away from that team.
Yeah. Please smash the like button, people. There's 35 of you here. We appreciate the support as always, man, on the channel. Alonso says 7. Well, Daniel says 7.5. Hassan says 7. I'm going to agree. Again, he didn't do much wrong, and whatever was asked of him, he done quite well. So for me, I would give him 7. Will's in the house. Big up to you, Will. Nice seeing you, my bro, as well. We're going to move on, and we're going to move on to, if I can find the guy. I hate trying to find it on these banners because we've got so many on here. Oh, here he is. Rudiger. What we're saying about Big Rudy? Is he surprising you, Monster? Obviously, Zuma's been dropped by it. Is he surprising you since he's come in to the Chelsea team?
Not really, because what it is was that when I saw the way Zuma improved under Thiago with Thiago Silva by himself, by his side, I thought to myself, I wonder how Rudiger would do under next to Thiago Silva in it, and it kind of just shows how Thiago Silva is that much of an influence and gets the best out of these players. Now, if Thiago Silva's not in the side, I don't know how he's going to perform. But with Thiago Silva by his side, I'm not surprised with the way he's performing so far.
Yeah, I agree. What did you give me in the rating? 7.
7.5 as well. Yeah, 7.5.
7.5 as well. All right, cool. Monster, you heard it there. Monster says 7.5 for Rudiger. Everyone agrees with you. Monster 7.5, 7, 7.5, 7. For me, he was a 7 as well. Again, I don't feel like they had much to do. Like, barring that chance where, to be fair, if it was Harry Kane on the end of it, with the header, because I think he probably would have scored that in the box. They didn't really do much. They didn't really pressure our defence. I'm starting to question it. Is it because of the system and the style of the way we're playing that the defenders are not actually having as much to do, or do you think teams are just setting up to just defend and not really coming out at us at the moment? What do you think it is?
It's both. Teams are not necessarily coming at us. They're playing very defensive, low block football. But at the same time, we're not necessarily giving them that chance, that space to come at us as well. So it's a combination of both, isn't it? A lot of this is just the Premier League. In the Premier League, a lot of the teams you're going to play are going to be playing low block football, innit? As long as Chelsea keep playing this way and playing the way whereby they're not giving them the chance to come at us, then we're going to pick up a lot of points towards the end of the season.
Yeah, I hear you on that as well. Yeah, for me, Rudiger is a 7. Again, nothing amazing, nothing bad, but we move on to Aspie, Monster. What we're saying about the old man? He seems to have come back in and gelled in perfectly, isn't he? Again.
Yeah, Aspie, I would give 7.5 as well. I would give him a 7.5.
7.5. And do you think he's kind of taken that position next to Thiago Silva or Christensen, whoever it is now? Do you think that's his position? Like, why can't we play Reece James there? Is my question. Why is it always Aspie?
When have you ever seen Reece James playing as a right centre back? Aspie is a title-winning right centre back. He played there under Antonio Conte, and he played there very well. Why would we play Reece James over Aspie in that position?
Yeah, but is James, in terms of the way he's built, is he not? Do you not think he's made to be able to play that? He's got pace. He can win the balls in the air. He's strong. He could do the same job, surely, if we had to. And at least it allows Cho or someone to operate more down that wing.
He could do, but he's never done it before. So at the moment, we don't really have that much time to experiment. You would rather play the players who's played there the best so far. So you're gonna play Aspie there. Aspie deserves to be there over Reece James. I'm sorry. No, that's just how the game goes.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think about this question from Velvet Shrine Monster? He's saying Chelsea should be looking at a Sanchez, Tielemans, or a Gay for the team. I don't think we need any of them. Do you?
Sanchez, no. Tielemans, I doubt Leicester will give him away. And what Gay is that?
He's talking about the one at PSG.
PSG, Ghana Gay. Just Ghana Gay.
Yeah. Is he talking about that one?
That's not how you pronounce the name. That must be someone else.
Who's let's have a look. He said I am gay. Who's that, bruv? I thought that was God knows. Anyway.
Oh no,
we move on.
It's a troll. I am gay. Come on.
I am gay. Oh, what? Velvet Shrine, man. You are you actually got us as well. I actually fell for that badly. Oh dear. Yeah, for me, Aspie had a good game as well. I'd give him a 7.5. I thought he was very, very good. To be fair, he didn't do nothing wrong the whole game for me, and he deserves a decent rating. I'm trying to find Reece James. Why have I not got Reece James on it? Yeah, Reece James Monster. Anyway, tell me.
Reece James about 7. about 7. In terms of our attacks and things like that, he wasn't effective as effective over there as Callum Hudson-Odoi was. Do you know what I mean? I feel like we might have got a little bit more if Callum Hudson-Odoi was playing in that position, and we could have had, like, say, a Pulisic in Callum Hudson-Odoi's position. But I would still give him a 7.
7. Fair enough. I would give him a solid 7 as well. I thought he was actually 7.5. I thought he was very good up and down. The only thing that you lose with him playing there, obviously we've seen Cho play there twice before. I think Cho naturally can take a player on. I don't think Reece James can. So when he is getting forward, it's all about him just whipping balls in. You're not going to see him get the ball and do a bit of a Cho and dip round a player or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it's like two different types of players. It depends who you're playing against. Like I can see Cho being a wing back, but then that means James ain't going to get time, isn't it? To be fair, so it is what it is. I think Chelsea should look for Aouar. He plays in the same position, as Jorginho, and he's a creative player. Do we need him?
I mean, I've been asking for him for ages now, but yeah, I'm just not sure if Chelsea
Indiana
are going to
says
continue with Jorginho in the long run. I don't know if they are.
I don't think they will. I think he's short term. I really do. I just don't think. I know people are getting gassed in the Jorginho higher than whatever, but for me, I don't see him in the long run. But Jim, I need to ask Monster a question. Manstar, is he taking a piss?
What's that?
I don't know. What is it? Indiana? Why are people moving buggy? Chelsea just signed Basuma. Do we really need him again? Is that the kind of player Chelsea need?
Yeah, he is the type of player we need a DM. But yeah, the question is, who is it? Is it? I do see a lot of people talk about Basuma. I just don't know if Chelsea are even looking at him.
Yeah, no, I get you, Monster. Oh, let me just quickly forward because people are asking you some questions here. Monster bought Pray for the Rivals back. You sure, Monster? Yeah, you did, didn't you? I saw that on Twitter. Monster's cool.
I am 1000% sure.
Again.
I'm 1000% sure.
Monster Munch or Doritos? I like Doritos. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm assuming. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to the next player, and the next player that we will be reviewing is man like this guy, Kovacic. Yes.
One of the man of the matches for me. It's man of the matches between Kovacic and Jorginho, you ask me. So I'm gonna give them an 8.5. Both of them get 8.5 from me.
Do you think the Kovacic and Jorginho combination, a double pivot, is good for in terms of the long run, like against most teams? Like, could you see us playing that as a solid 2 throughout a season?
I don't know. I'm yet to see them in a back 4, so I don't really know.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Indiana's come up with the question: did I really see Pray for the Rivals last night? You sure this is a good idea? All I can say is thank you.
We'll see. You won't be thanking me later on.
Monster is back. Concierge is 15 out of 10. That's fair enough, bro. Concierge of crime. 8s, 7.5s, 8s. I'm going to give Kovacic an 8. I actually thought Kovacic was very good yesterday. He was driving with the ball. He was winning tackles. He was playing one-touch football. The only thing that lets him down, I keep saying it, there was a moment where he darted through the middle and he was gone. Højbjerg was left for dust. And he got to the defence. And he should have just played in Werner or whoever. There were one to the left and the right. And he toe poked it.
Shot. Yeah. He didn't toe. No, it looked like a toe poke, but it wasn't actually a toe poke. He actually side-footed it.
But do you not think he does that too much, though, Monster? He makes the wrong decision in the final third.
Yeah, that is in the final third. That is my criticism of Kovacic, is that in the final third he's just not good enough.
Do you think we need to not replace him, but do you think we need to find a better version of him, like an Aouar from Lyon, for example?
At some point, yeah. At some point, just because of his final third play, we're going to need someone who's a bit more clinical in that final third, whether it's shooting or getting the ball into another player. Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that one. We're going to move on to the one that everyone's waiting for me to talk about, and probably want to hear my thoughts on him as well. Um, where is he? He's probably at the bottom of the pile because I've like literally added his name last. Oh, he's not actually. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Jorginho monster. Let's talk
Uh,
about Jorginho.
the other candidate for man of the match to me is either Koval or Jorginho. An 8.5 as well. An 8.5 as well. Both of them get 8.5 from me. They're both, and it's got to be either. Like I did see people saying Mason Mount. I think it was BT Sport gave Mason Mount a man of the
Yeah,
match. And
yeah,
listen, I'm not. This is
yeah.
no indictment on Mason Mount or anything. I do think Mason Mount had a good game as well. But there's no way in hell you watched that game and thought either Cover or Jorginho deserved the man of the match over. I mean, Mason Mount deserves a man of the match over Cover or Jorginho. Like, come on, what are you smoking on?
Christian, Tuchel is going to get annihilated by Ollie's tricky Reds. Yeah, whatever, Christian. Yeah,
We'll see.
use man ain't even beaten anyone in the Big Six yet. You're the only team in the Big Six to not beat a Big Six team. How about that one? You're
You're not on our level.
not good, mate.
Although you are second. Although you are second.
I was waiting for. Oh, but it's so bad. Yeah, people smash the like button. There's nearly 36 of you here. We appreciate your support. I know you guys are probably working and out and about, and that's always a tricky time in the afternoon to get your attentions. But 8.5. What else have we got here? 9 from hashtag as well. Yeah, big up to you, DJ Sav, man. Nice seeing you here as well, my man. 9s. Everyone's on the Jorginho hype, man. What is going on? I know Indiana. We have not spoken. Indiana says, "Have we spoke about Tiny yet? We're coming to Tiny. Don't worry." For me, Jorginho had a very good game. You see, I'm going to say it. I think he played very well. He is surprising me. Let's say he's surprising me. We played teams. The last 3 teams we've played, they've not really pressed him. Like he's not really had to think too much because we've been allowed the ball a lot of the time. So for me, it's like, yes, he's doing well. Yes, he's doing more of what I wanted him to do, which is get the ball and look forward. A lot of the times it was sideways, backwards, look 2-yard pass, waiting for the closest person to come as close as possible to him so he can just do that easy pass. And everyone would go, did you see Jorginho's pass succession rate? Yeah, but did you know that about 90% of them passes were to a 2-yard pass to someone and then received back? It wasn't creative enough. Do you know what I mean? And what he's been doing recently, which is surprised me, is he's been getting the ball and he's looking up and he's looking forward. You know, he's looking to try and play that ball into the final third a lot quicker. And that's all I've wanted from him. That's all I wanted, because this is what people have said Jorginho's very good at, creating and dictating the play. You know, so I want to see him do it more and sustain that as well. So I'm going to give him an 8 as well. I thought he played very, very well. Just going through some of these chats because there's so many. What we got here? Tottenham beat Man U. Pipe down, Man U fans. That is true. 6-1 as well. That is embarrassing. That was embarrassing. Not gonna lie. Let's move on to who's next. Who else was in that team? We got Cho, haven't we? Let's go on to Callum Hudson-Odoi monster. Again, he seems to be a regular in this Tuchel team. He's performing well. I don't think he had the best of games yesterday.
No.
What were your thoughts on him? Tell me.
I would give Cho about what did I give Reece James? Gave him about
You gave Reece
7. So I'll
7.5 or 7. Yeah.
I'll give Callum Hudson-Odoi about a 7 as well. The thing is, with Reece James playing in the position he played and Callum Hudson-Odoi playing a bit more central, a bit more tucked in, he had a lot less space to go at the Tottenham players, in it. So I would give Callum a 7.
Callum a 7. Wicked. People smash the like button. There's nearly 44 of you here now. Please smash the like button. Dan, you've joined too late, man. We've already spoken about Jorginho, mate. So there's no point in you being here now. We're on to Cho, but no, we'll come back to you. We'll rewind back to one player for him because he's probably come here to talk about him and he's probably come here to listen to me yap about him. So Jorginho, go on, tell me. How well did Jorginho play yesterday?
It's not even about like agendas and like you know me when we always talk about Jorginho, I fully understand your take and your opinion on Jorginho. Like I totally understand it. However, I've always been of the mindset that we've never given Jorginho a platform to succeed, and now you have a coach or a manager who understands Jorginho's player profile and then uses a system to hide his weaknesses. Not focus the system around Jorginho, not build it around Jorginho, but make sure the system hides his weaknesses. And I think that's what Tuchel does very well with the current system that he's playing. I think Jorginho was very, very good, controlled the play, dictate the same adjectives we use to describe his play. But I think one thing that Tuchel's getting him to do that even you can agree with to an extent is play the ball forward quicker. Do you know what I'm saying? The initial signs show up he's playing it quicker and progressing it quicker. So as soon as he does his little neat turn, it's try to get a penetrative pass straight into the 210s. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think we've got to give him credit for that. At least in the first 3 games, we've seen him do that. And if he can carry on, I mean, he will turn a lot of people to his side. And that's all we can ask for him, really.
I hear you. I gave him an 8 if you want to know, and I did actually big him up as well, to be fair. I actually said he played a good game. But again, I still hold my judgments on him because I feel like these 3 games, he's not really been pressed as certain teams will do in the future. So we'll see. Yeah. But Ultra Parizan says, what if at the end of the season, Chelsea are not qualified for any Europe competition and win no titles? Will you guys still be that pro Tuchel?
I think that's a good question. Context matters a lot. Context matters a lot.
If he does qualify for Europe, the Champions League, is great, absolutely amazing. If he doesn't, I don't necessarily blame him for it because look at what he came into, innit? And has had to quickly turn it around. I do think he's going to get top 4. In terms of the Europa League, I'd rather if he doesn't get top 4, I'd rather just not finish in the Europa League. I'd rather just stay out of the Europa League and just go for the Premier League next season, isn't it? Same way when Antonio Conte came in, he had that situation, innit? But in terms of, I do think he's going to get top 4, and I wouldn't. It doesn't matter where he finishes this season, unless it goes horribly, horribly wrong. I wouldn't sack him. No,
I think it's going to be cool. Don't you think?
Go on, Dan.
I think quickly, it's just going to be interesting to see how Chelsea approach the Champions League game now, because. Really and truly, when we had Lampard in charge, I said that game is a buy. I said, look, there's no way in hell we're beating Atletico, top of the league. They're playing good football, blah, blah, blah. But now, Tuchel's Champions League record is good, and he knows how to set up his teams in the Champions League. So I'll be interested to see how we play. And that's the game I'm really looking to. Because if we beat Atletico, obviously bar Bayern, why can't we beat any other team in the competition? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. Strip Bear says 41 people watching, 34 likes. That's one of the most friendly channels. Thank you. Yeah, please smash the like button, people. Please, we appreciate it. What we're going to do, guys, as well, is 40 of you here. We're going to fly through. We've only got 2 or 3 more players left. Once we've done that and we've given our man the matches, I want you viewers to get your questions in. Yeah. What I might even do is put the link in the chat for you guys to ask questions. It could be to all of us. It could be to me. It could be to Monster. It could be to Dan. Come and have your say. One question that you want to get off your chest. Let's do it. But moving, Dan, Cho, go on, because we've spoken about Cho already. What's your thoughts on Cho?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, I'm not saying this can't be a good position for him, but the change in position almost limited the amount of things he could do with the ball. Like he was the one providing the ball for the overlap for Reece James a lot of the time. So. Yeah, I mean, he had an okay game. He didn't have the game where he got an assist or a goal, like drove at his guy that I wanted him to do. But he had an okay game. He was a threat, and that's all you can ask for our players. Be a threat and be intentional with your playing. So I'd give him a 7 as well.
What about if you look at the games that he played recently, obviously he played a different position against Spurs. He played more in rather than on sort of a wing back. Where would you prefer to see him under Tuchel in terms of his role? Did you prefer him out on the wing, just hogging it and driving in that way, or did you prefer him like he was yesterday? Any of you two can answer that.
You guys
Monster,
continue.
you've
I
gone.
just gotta go quickly do something.
Oh yeah, cool, bro. No worries. Go on, Dan. What you
It's a
saying?
tough one. I think it depends. Monster, you're muted. You're muted, bro. Yeah, no, I think personally that I think it's a hard one. You have to think about the situation that it was like Tottenham played in a different role. I think it's too early to say. I mean, I really liked him in the wing back position, but obviously I think Cho would want to play closer to the goal in that 10 position. So I don't know. I think it's way too early to say, because if you look at the first two games, he was man of the match playing the wing back role. And then this game, he wasn't really involved in the play. So I think it's just way too early to say. Like, I really don't know. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I hear you, my man. I hear you. Let's move on to we haven't spoken about him yet. Where is he? Here he is. Boy wonder himself. Mason Mount, people. Mason Mount. Mason Mount. Dan, what we saying, my man? Obviously, again, I thought he had a good game yesterday. I know some people saying, "Oh, he was the worst out of the three in the middle," but I just feel like we overly criticise him. Like we always wait for him to do that little thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, look at that. Like I know at the first half he was taking corners. He got caught offside on one of them. On the second one, he got the ball back and he completely huffled the cross. But what are your views on Mason Mount's performance yesterday? I thought he played well second half, though, to be fair.
He wasn't the worst out of the three. I'd say, like, worst is the wrong adjective to use, but he had a better game than Hudson-Odoi, and that's why he stayed on for the 90 minutes. Like, the thing about Mason Mount is, look, at the end of the day, for me, what he needs to do to get to get to Grealish, Maddison type levels and be considered in that regard is he needs to add more goals to his game, add even more goals or more assists, open play assists or goals to his game, and then he will be considered in the same regard as these English guys. He's already got the work ethic, he's already got the skill and the technique. He just needs to add now the end product to his game. I think apart from the final ball, which let him down a couple of times, he played well. Like, he was really, really good, really, really positive. And one thing you can say about Mason Mount is he's intentional in his playing. Like, everything he tries, he genuinely is trying. He's putting his all in there, and he's got technique, he's got skill, and that's why I value him. Like, I think he's a quality squad player for us for the future. Like, someone who can be very, very good part of a lot of teams that we have. So I'd give him a 7.5, 7.5, 8.
Yeah. I think he had a good game yesterday. I don't see what the whole kerfuffle was with him, to be honest, about he's he's not he didn't have a good first half, he was wasteful. Yeah, he's gonna do that. He's every player makes a mistake. People need to especially people like, I say David. He was doing my nutting in the group yesterday. All he kept saying was, "See, this is why. If he's wasteful again, he needs to come off the pitch."
What did David say about that?
He just said he was wasteful and poor in the first half. He needs to come off the pitch. And then in the second half, he went all quiet because Mason Mount was skinning people and playing these like quick through balls and looked really good in my eyes. He was driving with the ball and stuff. And then at the end, on the terrace, he was like, "Oh, well, he was the third, maybe fourth best player on the pitch." It's just David, isn't it? It's David for you, my man. It's David for you. But no, I'd give him a 7.5. Maybe pushing an 8. I thought he wasn't too bad. He got man of the match yesterday, which again, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think he was man of the match. I thought he just had a good game. I would have given it to. I want to say I would have given it to Jorginho. The reason I would give it to Jorginho is because he scored the pen.
I think the media was biased in giving
100%. It was BT Sport, man.
It was nonsense. If you go to all the international channels, they were giving Jorginho.
They all gave it Jorginho. Yeah, exactly.
What was your what was your thoughts on Mount Monster? What would you give him yesterday?
He was good. I'll give him a 7. I'll give him the same as Callum and Reece James, because he was a bit in the final third. He wasn't necessarily good enough. And it was evident that in that game, like, it was completely evident Kovacic and Jorginho were better than him, innit? I'm not saying that he was bad or anything.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's hard to criticize. Just keep comparing our midfielders to each other because they play different roles. Do you not get that?
No. The reason why I'm saying that in terms of like rating, when they were saying that he got the man of the match over Kovacic and Jorginho, They had a lot more say in the game than Mount did. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, bro. I hear you. We're going to move on to the last player that everyone again was, I don't know, was pinging. For me, look, Timo Werner, his movement was awesome yesterday. You know, he was dragging people around left, right, and centre. The only thing that I've noticed with him, and I don't blame him, I actually don't blame him, is that he comes to the ball too much. Like you see him come deep to pick the ball up when all I want him to do is go the other way and be on the last man. We don't find him enough. And it was clear and evident again yesterday that when he makes runs, we don't look to play that ball behind. We always look to still build up, you know, a nice little style pattern of play, couple touches in. And for me yesterday, I think we overplayed it sometimes. There was too many touches. It was just like, play that killer ball or take a shot. And for me with Timo Werner, to get the best out of him, you've got to make, if he's making runs and they're very good runs, because you know his movement's good, play him. Just keep playing him in. If you're not going to do that, you're not going to see the best of him. He's not going to have to keep coming deep and turning around and dribble at people because that's not his game. Do you know what I mean? So for me, look, I think he had an okay game yesterday. I'll give him a 7, to be honest. I don't think it was bad. He got us the penalty as well. Monster, what do you think about Timo Werner yesterday?
Yeah. He also gets the 7. Won the pen. I wish he scored, but unfortunately he was blocked by Aurea.
Yeah.
That lovely bit of play. But I would just about give him a 7.
What about you, Dan?
I just think, look, I'll give him a 7 as well, but I just think we're getting towards that time. Obviously, we'll wait till next season, but we're getting towards that time where we're giving him a rating out of pity and out of, he's trying his best, you know what I'm saying, rather than the quality on the pitch. And you could also make the argument to the players that, look, at the end of the day, they might not trust Werner all the time. You know, when Werner gets the ball, I don't know about you guys yet, but I grip my chair because I just think he's going to lose it or misplace a pass or miss the chance. Like, I actually don't know what to expect. Like, I saw a tweet, which obviously I don't believe, but was quite funny, that if even defenders don't know where the ball is going to go. That's why he wins so many pens. Like, and that's just like indicative of the fact about how bad he's playing, like his all-round play. Do you know what I'm saying?
Dan, do you not think that we do not play to his strengths? Because I don't think we do. I assess him so much, and I assess him. I individually watch him. I actually genuinely just watch him. Do you know what I mean? And he's moving.
I get that question, but then if I ask you a question, do you think he's a good all-round footballer?
I think he's got. I think there's definitely areas that he needs to improve. Don't get me wrong. I think, but then who is a good all-round footballer? That's a bit of a silly question, because unless you're Eric Haaland, Erling Haaland, who's an all-round great striker, Giroud's not, like, for example, yeah, he's good in the air and he's good at holding the ball up, but he's not quick.
Do you know what? I don't want to overcomplicate it. To win the league, can we win the league with Werner being our main striker? From what you've seen so far,
I don't think he should be our first striker. I think he needs to be a second striker. I said this yesterday on the terrace. I think he needs to be played as a second striker.
No, I'm asking you personally. Personally, I don't think we can. But
I know Indiana don't, because Indiana's here right now. So he definitely don't think we can win the league.
Am I in at the right time? Have you brought me in at the right time?
Yeah, we're talking about Timo and if he can win us the league or not, or if he should be leading the line on his own, or if he's better as a second striker.
Don't have him leading the line. His link play is terrible. Movement's incredible. Can score goals, but his link play is shocking.
And I tweeted it, and it got the traffic that I wanted. His movement off the ball, if you watch him, he makes very, very good runs, like underrated, and his movement is good. But as soon as he gets the ball, it falls to pieces, and it's so like it's cringe. Like, it's almost as if you're like, please, like, don't lose the ball when you get the ball. And when I'm like that for a player, because any player who comes to my club, I want them to do well. Like Morata, who came, Higuain, Torres, wanted them to score. We wanted them to do well, and we're getting that same feeling with Werner. And that's my problem is, remember the goal he scored against Southampton, where he let it go through his legs, cuts in, runs across the box, and
that is a confident Werner. That's different. That's what confidence does for you.
He's also
that's what confidence does for you. You can't say that he's not missing confidence. He's lacking confidence.
Yeah.
How
Yes,
can you go from a German league scoring 30-odd goals a season to then come in here and now being questioned?
One word for
actually, no,
you.
he's not actually that good. Go on.
Paulson. Paulson.
Yeah, but then that goes back to my point. He needs to be played as a second striker.
Lead the line for you. Yeah. No, I think
He is.
I think what would be good is if we know Havertz needs to play higher up, right? So if Tuchel can figure out a system where Werner can use his movement, which is what he's good at, great pace, and we know he can score goals. Like it's not like he can't score goals. And have Havertz closer to him, just slipping those balls in for him would make all the difference. Let him do that, and then have your Mounts, your Kovacic's, Kante's energy in behind. You've got to get the balance right for Werner.
My issue with it, and I said this to Daniel as well, is I actually really, you know what I'm like, I self-assessed him, right? I literally sat there and watched him throughout the game. He makes runs and we do not find him. We do not play to his strengths. He's forever making a run and then tracking back to try and get onside. Making a run, tracking back, trying to get onside. To the point where you start, and it does, and a lot of strikers do this, to the point where they end up, instead of making the run and staying on the end because they know they're not getting the ball, they end up going to the ball and being deep, where they're going to be ineffective because they're not good. Like we said, with Werner's not good on the ball to turn around and be a Cristiano Ronaldo and dribble round 3 or 4 players. It's not his game. Do you know what I mean? And that's.
Can I ask you a question though, Joe?
That's the issue.
Have you ever played football and there's that one guy on the team you don't want to pass the ball to? No, and I don't mean they're salty. I mean that he has been shocking. And let's be honest, he has been shocking. So if you have other options, it looks to me like they're looking for another option to keep the ball. Like they don't trust him completely. But that's because they haven't figured each other out yet. They haven't got it. Werner's been playing, I don't think in the wrong position because he's played from out wide before, not as a winger, but as a wide forward. And I think a big part of it is if you're in the attacking third and this player hasn't been on form or is likely to lose the ball, you feel, you're less likely to give him the ball. That might be part
I hear
of
that.
it.
Happy birthday to you, Daniel Wilkinson, bro. I didn't know it was your birthday, but big up to you, my man, if it is. Happy birthday to you. I want to go to your man of the matches. I'm going to start. Monster, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, right, cool. Who was your man of the match yesterday, bro?
Kovacic. Kovacic is my man of the match. If it's not Kovacic, it's Jorginho. It's one of those two. I would go with Kovacic.
Okay. Kovacic. Dan, who are you saying, my man?
Yeah, I think he's talking about me, innit? I think he's talking about me. But
it's your birthday, then.
Yeah, man.
Oh, is it your birthday, Dan? Sorry.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
It's calm. Appreciate it. But
happy birthday, bro.
No, it's cool.
That's funny.
But man of the match, you know what? My man of the match, it's Jorginho and Kovacic, man. It can't be anyone. Like, yeah, I think they can share it, man, because they were both quality in everything that they were asked to do. They were quality, man. And it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough for Kante to come back into that team. It's going to be tough.
No, I'm not.
The chick. He's hidden behind the camera. Yeah. Sorry, Dan. Go on, mate.
No.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get how they could have given Mason, like, I don't want to. I'm not trying to get at Mason Mount or anything, but I don't know how they could have possibly given the man of the match to Mason Mount, considering how good Kovacic and Jorginho was. It just didn't make sense. I don't know if the English media is trying to do something. I don't know what it is, but clearly Jorginho and Kova were the best players on the pitch yesterday.
For sure. And do you know what I loved about yesterday's Kovacic? We saw last season's Kovacic. I mean, in the fact that, yeah, fair enough, sometimes end product has always been the problem with Kovacic, but in terms of getting the ball, breaking the lines, driving, and one thing that you can see that Tuchel's tactics or instructions have been is Kovacic, when you get the ball, pass it forward. Stop dribbling and then running backwards with the ball. dribble
Yeah.
and then pass it forward. And that's what he's trying to do more. And I like that. That's what I want to see, improvement in what you already know of your players. Let's see an improvement on those players playing. That's what I'm loving, man.
I hear you, my man. I hear you. Big up to everyone here. There's 54 of you here. Please smash the like button. Please hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Indiana, who was your man of the match, bro? Watching the game yesterday.
You know I'm a Jorginho fan, but I have to say, you don't see that game from Jorginho without Kovacic playing the way he did. So for me, it has to be Kovacic. It has to be. The guy's so strong. Like when he's on it, he's one of your biggest assets. And I keep saying this: you have great players, but the greatest players make other players play great. And I think that's what Kovacic can give you in terms of energy. We had it with Man United and Roy Keane, right? He wasn't the best footballer, but if you didn't have him in the side, people like Paul Scholes wouldn't tick. The David Beckhams wouldn't tick. Do you know what I mean? You've got to have the right balance. He adds that right balance for Jorginho. I think you have to give it to Kovacic. Otherwise, Jorginho doesn't have that game for me.
I would give it to Jorginho, and that's me saying it. And the reason I'm giving it to him is only because he scored the goal. I actually don't think even though we played well, I was still not satisfied. Like, if they would have scored their chance at the end, we would have drew that game. We would have drew that game. And we can't have 18 shots and only have 2 on target. I'm sorry, that's not good enough. I know I might be sounding like I'm being critical.
You know, United would have scored half of those, right?
It was more than 2 on target. It was more than 2.
But my point is this, right? Wait. Spurs had 3 or 4 shots on target, and 2 of them, they had a better conversion. They might have had less than us. They had a better conversion rate than us overall. Do you know what I mean? It's come on, man. Do you know what I mean? It just isn't good enough. But for me, we need to work on it. I'm not going to criticize it too much, to be fair with Tuchel. But I don't think that's a Tuchel thing. I think it's a player thing. Yeah,
I know. Early.
I know.
Do you know what parts of that game looked like last night? Frank Lampard ball with energy. I'm sorry, it did. Not the whole game, but parts of it were like, this is still Frank ball, but now they all want to play for the manager. They all want to play for the shirt. It's going to take time before you see a real Tuchel. And when he's got everything in place and he's got a system locked down, formations, whatever he's going to do, figured out what the players are best at, how to get the right balance, that sort of game, you should be winning 4-0 when Spurs play like that.
I disagree to an extent, like, with that take. The only reason why I disagree is because I think with Frank, in saying we dominated the ball, we never looked like we were. And I don't know if that makes sense. So we would have more possession than the opponent, but it never looked like we were the dominant team. Yesterday, you could clearly see we were the better team, the more dominant team, the more imposing team. I think what the improvement needs to be, and obviously Jem highlighted it, is killer instinct. And I think that's what is going to take time to put into the team. Developing killer instinct as a team. You need to remember, this is these men didn't have a preseason. They're still developing their chemistry. But what Tuchel is doing that's like smart, obviously experience comes to this, is when you understand the player profiles and you understand that players haven't played together for so long or for a long time, you put them in a formation where you know you can get results while still implementing the tactics that you want to implement. Look, dropping Ziyech couldn't have been easy for him, but he made the right decision, because I honestly believe we didn't need him in that game. Do you know what I'm saying? So like getting guys, and it's just that's literally me in it. And I just think it's going to take time, but we're allowed to be positive as Chelsea fans, because we haven't seen this in a while, in a long time. So I think we should be positive and just keep moving.
I agree. Yeah, we have to. We're going to just, as Chelsea fans, all we can do is take it game by game. We now go into 2 games which are winnable games, right? We're 6 points off third. That's how close we're getting to now. Sheffield United and Newcastle, we've got to go and get maximum points in them games. You look at Liverpool, they've got Man City and they've got, is it Everton maybe, or someone hard. I know they have the next 2 games, you know. So we need to capitalise on that. Liverpool 4 points ahead of us and Leicester is 6. So for me, it's like, we can do this. We can get back in. I've never ever knocked that we can't get Champions League. Whether we can compete with Man
You
City,
will.
I don't think so. I think Man City are on the burners. But
You'll make top 4. Jim.
Indiana, stop it. I'll put the
No,
link
I'm
in the.
not even
We will.
I'll
joking.
put the
make
link
top
in the.
Come
We will
on.
make top four. We
I'll
will.
put the link.
You will
Boy,
make top 4.
yeah, we will make top
I have
four. We will
Liverpool
make top
dropping
four.
out. I'm not
Yeah,
even
yeah,
joking.
yeah.
Really?
You know what? One thing I would say,
Yeah.
is that at the beginning of the season,
on.
I said we'll finish above Liverpool, but I ain't gonna lie, I said that as a just something to throw out there, and I actually didn't believe it would happen, but now it's actually looking like we can finish above Liverpool. I can't believe it.
Yeah, but this is very different, Monster. That's because you said you were winning the league. That means
Yeah,
you
that
finish
as
above
well.
everyone. You get that, right? Not just
Yeah,
Liverpool.
I
You finish
know.
above everyone.
But I'm not gonna lie to you, Indiana. I didn't fully believe it will happen. I didn't fully believe we'll even finish above Liverpool, if I'm being honest. But
Don't worry, no one else did either.
Right, boys. I've put the link in the chat. Obviously, we're going to allow the viewers to come on and have their say. It's going to be a quick one bang question because we've got a lot of people in the background already. So whatever you've got to say, you can ask all of us, or if it's to one individual, you can ask us. Come and have your say. We're going to start with man like Stephen, who's not a Chelsea fan, but he's here to have his say. Steve, what are you going to say?
I'm a Chelsea fan when you smash Spurs. Simple as that. Can I just also ask, are you in the FA Cup still? I think, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you think, because I still think you can get top 4, do you think if you get two parts of the question, if you get top 4 and an FA Cup, do you count that as a decent season given what's happened this season? And then going forward from that, if you get sort of investing in another couple of players, do you think you'll be able to mount a title charge next season with Tuchel?
Yes.
As a rival, I'd say
What's to answer that?
yes.
Monster, Dan?
Yeah. Man. First question. It's more if we get top 4 in the FA Cup, it's more than a decent season. That's a considering the circumstances, that's a very, very good season and a solid start for Tuchel. And then next year, I think regardless of who was manager, next year was the year to really challenge for the title. Do you get what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of people obviously predictions were to finish first. Some people predicted us to finish first. I never thought we would win the league this year, but next year, regardless of who was manager, even if it was me or Jem, the objective would have been to.
I would win the title if it was me. Dan. Don't worry about that.
If it was me, you'd win the title because the first thing I'd do is sell Tiny and buy a top
Exactly. That's why we wouldn't win the title. That's why we wouldn't win the title with you. Yeah. Anyone else want to jump on what Stephen said before? Because we've got so many people in the back. Go on, sir.
He's right. Winning the FA Cup and finishing 4th would be an amazing season. I think we all said it would have been a good season just for Frank Lampard to finish like 3rd and win another cup and win like the FA Cup, or even if it was the Carabao Cup, that would have been a successful season in our eyes. So for Tuchel to win, he can still finish 3rd if Leicester and Liverpool drop and Chelsea go ahead of them. That's 3rd place. So that is
you can still finish second, Monster. You could still finish second.
That's possible as well. Yeah. So him doing that and then winning an FA Cup on top, that's a very successful season, man.
I would have said that if you still had Lampard in, just say is that if you still had Lampard in at the minute and an FA Cup with 3rd place would have been a good season. The fact that he's got a trophy and he's got that winning mentality, but I think given the circumstances this season, it would have been a good start beginning to the season, and it can give you that sort of mentality with that squad of players to go on and push for a title next season.
Yeah, Jem, I've always said to you all, and I've said on the terrace many times. I said it in the window. This season is a building season for Chelsea. Next season, it's going to be title challenges, and that's
I
how
agree.
you got to look at it.
None of us here, barring Monsters, said that we were going to win the title anyway. So it wasn't like we were going to buy all these players and be the team. You know what I mean? That's going to.
I did say we're going to. What are you going to? I did say we were going to win the title. But hold on, I'm not. But I also said even if we took 3rd place, it's a successful season because we did better than we did last season. Do you know what I mean?
Monster, that's just going to haunt you forever. You know that.
It can haunt me forever, but I only care what I think, innit? And I think being 3rd, I think being third is a success because you've progressed on from last season. As long as you progress on from last season, then you can't be mad at that.
Yeah,
You
I
can't.
agree. I agree with Monster. I do. I agree with everything Monster's saying. To be fair, as well, I think look, even to be fair to Monster, he has come up and defended himself for his reasons and that, and I do get what he's saying. That, but Steve, thank you, my bro. Thanks for coming on.
No worries.
Appreciate your support.
Always
up
love the
Stephen.
support. Always give
And,
support, mate.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
appreciate
take
it,
care.
mate. I appreciate it. Talk to you in a bit, mate. Bye. Right. So we have. Oh, this will be an interesting one. AC Milan fan Gio's in the house. What you saying, Gio?
Hey, yo, what's
Give
good,
us Tamori
Jan?
back,
What's
man.
good, guys? Oh, nah, man. We're not
Give us
doing
Tamori
that.
back.
Nah, Gijo already loves Tamori. Gijo already loves him. So, he's
How you been, my
already
man?
played 2 games. Good. Just arriving at work and stuff. Not much of a question.
What did you want to say, mate?
Just, what's up with Mourinho's dead football? And what's up with every Premier League game, a marquee game being a bore fest?
Listen, just because Serie A has picked up again.
No, I watch the
I'm
Prem
being the
mostly.
best league to watch right now because I watch a lot of it. I love it. It is. You're right. I agree. Actually, I agree. It is like that.
Do you know what it is? A lot of the Premier League teams right now, they're too scared to lose. All of the top teams.
Yeah,
Barring
exactly.
Liverpool and Man City, where they go toe to toe, everyone else is it's just like he said, it's a bit of a bore fest. Maybe Liverpool Tottenham wasn't really a bore fest, but they're just being too cautious. They just don't want to play football in it. I don't know in it.
No, Liverpool Tottenham was even a ball fest on Tottenham's part again as well because they didn't come to look. Everyone's trying. It's basically what you said. Too scared to lose. On top of that as well. Look, Man United have been an outlier in a lot of these big games. Let's not get it twisted. The Man United have come with this approach in the big games to stifle the opponent, no matter who it is, and be a bit like conservative in approach. And look, at the end of the day,
but they did that last season though. They said the same way Man United tried to do this season, they did it last season.
Yeah, it's a consistent theme. If you go through their results as well, you'll see that it's a consistent theme. So yeah, the big games are not what they used to be. I think Man City and Liverpool. That's why Man City and Liverpool still, even till this point, I still say they're a level above because of the football that they're able to play, the ability to like it. I want to see a Premier League where the big teams literally go toe to toe. Like they both try to dominate the ball, they both try to play football, and basically it's the best team wins. Remember Man City Liverpool at the Etihad 2-1. Was it 2 seasons ago? The year City won the league. That is the best game of football I've seen in a long time. As in the one where Mane almost John cleared it off the line. Sane scored the winner. That was like, bro, that is a game. That is a game.
That was mental. That was mental. Gio, anything else you want to say, bro?
Nothing, man. Just send us Tammy in the summer, and we'll get him made for you. All right.
You can have him if you give
us the shit.
Give me back my right back as well.
Yeah,
I want him back.
We can't afford both Dala or Tamori. So most likely Tamori is the one to stay if we're gonna splash the class.
No, we're good.
All right,
good, Gio.
Well, y'all have a good
Gio,
day.
take care of yourself, my man. I'll talk to you again.
All right, you too.
Yeah, very, very soon. See you later, bro. Bye. All right, let's get a Chelsea fan on here. Let's get. Oh, there's so many people here. Let's get Alex on. Alex, what you saying, my man?
You alright, guys? All good?
Very well,
Not bad, bro. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad.
What would you like to say, bro?
Yeah, I guess if I had to think of a question, I think would you, as a Chelsea fans and stuff, obviously I think a win is always a win and in a way we style of play, but would you want to go forward with the way that we're playing in formation, or would you want to rather see us maybe playing more of a back four? Like, what do you think you would want to see as a fan to us play? You know, what kind of formation? Because Tuchel obviously does change quite a lot, and so yeah.
I think the back three works. It has worked so far. I would play what we have, what we know at the moment. It's working. I don't see why we should change it. I think he will continue doing what he's doing at the moment because there's no need to change. Look, the thing with Tuchel, and I'm slowly learning it myself. He's very flexible with his formations. Like if it's not working in the three, don't be surprised if he then switches to a four very quickly. The only problem you have with doing that is when you've got people like Alonso on the pitch who are good at fullbacks. You're then asking them to play a flat four at the back. It then becomes an issue because he's not.
Yeah.
We know he's just not a good defender. Do you know what I mean? So he would just have to make the right substitutions at the right time if he's going to change formations throughout a game. So, yeah, man. What do you think, Monster? Do you agree?
I do think we're going to end up switching to that back four at some point. I don't know when. Because obviously we got more players to suit a back four than a back three in it. So I don't know when it's going to be, but at some point you will see us switching back to a back four.
Fair enough. Dan, do you agree?
Yeah, no, same, more the same. I think people overrate
Tuchel.
No, Indiana. People overrate what fans like. Do you know what I'm saying? Fans like systems that get you results, that win you games. If you're winning games consistently, no one's complaining. Tottenham fans are only complaining now they're losing with their boring football. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So as long as we're winning games, no one minds the system.
That's true. Alex, you got anything else you want to say, bro?
Yeah, no, you guys. I'm a bit worried now that Thiago Silva might be injured for the Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
Game, but besides that,
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Just getting fit for the United game, so Martial.
Is that what they said? Did they confirm it's 3 weeks?
It's going to be a minimum of 3 weeks, 3 to 5 weeks, I think. I've heard.
And
what is the actual injury? Can I ask?
It's going to be a
hamstring.
Right.
Is it hamstring?
It was hamstring. Yeah, he done his hamstring.
Man.
Well, that's what I've been told anyway. That's what I read on Twitter. So I don't know how, if it's, they say this 3 weeks and then a week later he's back and it's like, oh, you know what I mean? It happens in football. So I don't really listen to it too much. Do you know what I mean? But
you can get the best out of Christensen, but I'd rather see it later down there than now.
I hope Zuma gets back, man. That's what I hope.
Yeah.
Zuma better come back quickly.
Really got the back.
Pardon, say that again,
there's 55 people here right now. Please smash that like button, please. Come on, just try and get us to 70 likes, please. 70 likes is the aim, the next aim for us. 70 likes. Yeah, Alex, anything else?
No, just I think I think I hope that the way that we're playing, I think it's positive, and I think there is different things to change. I think the only missing puzzle at the moment is that we need to just be a bit more clinical with those kind of final third kind of passes. But I think that will come. I think we just need to improve on that, and then I think if that starts to come in our game, like we can improve massively. I think that's going to be a key component.
I agree, bro. Ben says it's a thigh injury, 2 to 3 weeks confirmed, apparently. So, okay, that's not too bad. Thanks for the update, bro. Appreciate it. Alex, thanks for coming on, bro. Appreciate your time, as always, my man.
Cheers,
and we'll see you again soon.
No worries.
See you later, bro. See you later, bro. Bye. Let's go. What have we got next? Okay, so we've got Ryan. Ryan, what you saying, my man?
Yo, what's up, guys? I got 2 questions, basically. So we've seen Kova and Jorginho. They're pretty good, I like them as 2 6s. Obviously, Tuchel's a big fan of Kante, innit? So if he wants to bring Kante in, who do you drop? Because we've seen Kante Kova, awful. Kante, Jorginho, awful as a 2. So what would you do?
Good question. A monster, Danny, Indiana. Who wants to answer that?
Kante, Jorginho, in my opinion.
But you've seen it before, and it's been, not great.
I'd go as I'd play Jorginho Kovacic till it doesn't work anymore. Don't fix what ain't broken in it, and they're playing well together with the 6s. So I think Kante's still, like, I saw a video of what Tim Sherwood was saying. I understand what he's saying about Kovacic and Jorginho in terms of them being high IQ players, intelligent footballers, technical players, but that can be true without bashing Kante. Kante still has a lot to offer the squad. When we face Atletico Madrid, I'd imagine Kante comes straight back into the team for that kind of game. You know what I'm
The
saying?
problem is with a lot of these pundits is, and it surprised me because they are footballers and some of them are footballers of the highest level, innit?
Yeah.
Yesterday,
Yeah.
when people were asking me why we should put Kante in that lineup, I straight up said no. I said the reason why is because Kante has been injured for almost a month now. He's not going to be He's not going to be match sharp yet. You can't just expect someone to just recover from an injury and he's going to be sharp straight away. That's not how it works in football. They need to build up fitness, build up the sharpness, and then get up to speed with the rest of the team. So the reason why Tim Sherwood is spewing that rubbish he was spewing yesterday is because he looked at Kante's performance yesterday and he thought, oh, he's not good enough to get in the team. But that's not true. It's as simple as wasn't match sharp. Like, people don't use their brains.
And Monster, Kante's game is fixed upon his sharpness, on being able to read the play quickly. Like, you don't just get that the first game you come back from an injury, especially being out for a while. Kante will be fine and he'll prove his doubters wrong again. He's someone I'm never worried about. People always say he's declined. I mean, he might not be premium Kante that we saw at Leicester in the first season under Conte, but he's still a very, very good player, top quality player. So let's not forget that he's still got a lot to offer, man.
Ryan, anything else?
Yeah. You know, this one leg, two leg thing to do with the Champions League. Do you think if we have the one leg against Atletico Madrid, it will suit us better? Because if you look at our run of games, we've got Sheffield United, got Barnsley, Newcastle, then Atletico, if I'm not mistaken. So obviously, hopefully, we're going to win all three of those games and we'll be on a good run. What do you reckon?
I think I think the Champions League's always been a two-legged tie. To be fair, like, it's something we've always been used to. Would it benefit us playing Atletico once? Maybe not. Maybe we would need that second leg to come back. Maybe we lose 2-0 at Atletico and we come back and we win 3-2. But if we don't have that opportunity, who would know? So for me, it's like, I don't know. It's a tough one. What would you say, Indiana?
I'd say any team, the more games you play this season, especially with COVID, congested fixture list, the harder it's going to be in all competitions. I'm a Man United fan. Wouldn't bother me if we dropped out of every cup competition right now. Wouldn't bother me. For the first time ever, wouldn't bother me. Normally, I want to fight on all fronts, right? But when you're second in the league, I need to know we can secure that top four, because that's big, especially this season when we go into this window of buyer's market. So I would say the risk of injuries for top players is just too big a gamble. Go out and win that game. If you're good enough to win the Champions League, go and win that game. Straight up.
Yeah. And this is the thing. I can't remember who was saying this to me, but there was people telling me, "Oh, maybe Chelsea should drop out of the Champions League," and I was just like, "What? How stupid is that? Why the hell would you want to drop out of the Champions League? You got to play the bet. Champions League to me is a bigger competition than the Premier League. Winning it to me means more than winning the Premier League to me personally, innit? I feel like you've got to go as hard as you can in the Champions League, innit? Just as hard as you go in the league, you go for the Champions League as well.
I disagree, because you can have a bad game in the Champions. It's knockout football. It's very different.
Yeah, it is on the
Premier League's like, you have to be consistent. You're going to play everybody at least twice. So knockout football, you can never tell with it. There's a big,
but in the Champions League, Indiana, you play everyone at least twice as well. Well, everyone you go against, you play them at least twice up into the final.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Yeah. But it's more. It's a bit more. The Premier League takes away from it, and what I'm saying is, with the Champions League, is you can get that bad game at home, and then it might be different this season because there's fans, right? But I'm just saying, like, if you had like a noisy crowd and you go away, you get knocked out, and that's more down to the event than the game. It's a very different competition. I just feel that you have to perform on the night to be able to win that competition. You have to be dominant. Whereas the Premier League, The Premier League, you can have a string of bad games. You can have a bad run of 4 games and then just go and smash it. You can't do that in the Champions League.
I hear you, Ryan. Thanks for coming on, bro. Appreciate it. We've got a ton of people at the back still. We'll talk to you again soon. Yeah. See you later on, my bro. Take care, bro. Let me in here. All right, let's get Johnny Boy on. Johnny Boy's coming to talk about Mason Mount, isn't he? So let's go. What we saying, Johnny?
Yeah, let's go. So for me, right, the reason I say he's man of the match, I'm not disputing that Kovacic and Jorginho had excellent games, and they did. If you take away the penalty scored by Jorginho, that's not man of the match performance. And Kovacic, purely for that awful decision in the final third when he got subbed off, not playing Pulisic in on the right, and I think Werner was on the left as well. And Tuchel just took him off straight away, because that would have been 2-0 guaranteed, game over. And then after that, we were under the cosh a little bit. So my reason for Mount is, out of all the players in our team, especially in that game, Mount gave me the most confidence. When he gets the ball, I always feel confident he's not going to lose it and he's going to do something with it. The final third, I agree, he wasn't on it that game, but neither was anyone else. I mean, Werner wasn't on it, Pulisic wasn't on it, Odoi wasn't on it, and who was on the left? I can't remember now.
Johnny, you said the obviously the Kovacic, obviously when he drove the ball and I think he tried to shoot and he missed it, was a damning indictment on him in terms of the performance. But Mount had similar moments where he could have done better in the final third as well. So why is that not a damning indictment on his performance? Shouldn't you, if you're being consistent?
Well, my reason is, if you take Mount out of those front three, we would not play the way we did play. And for that reason alone, that's why Mount is man of the match. Because
Johnny, but
his pressing, his movement and positional play was top draw.
But hold on, Johnny. If you took Kovacic or Jorginho out of that performance, would have been the same situation. In fact, our game was so good because of those two controlling the midfield.
Yeah, they controlled, but they didn't. They feed the attackers down to the final third. But Mount was the link between Kovacic, Jorginho, and Werner, Pulisic, Odoi. But the other three with Mount weren't at the races. I mean, there was two occasions. There was two occasions though, Monster, where Mount, he almost played Werner in, and Werner like even muffed it up or whatever. But there were glimpses there, and I think you got to take the weather into consideration as well. It was bucking it down. It was bucking it down. But for me, I just felt that I have a confidence with Mount. I just feel like his little turns, his awareness. How when Odoi and James were going down the right, who was there to allow them to play the 1-2 to move? It was always Mount. He was always there to read it, and that is very important in the final third. So for me, that's a big thing. I mean, that allows us to have that movement in the final third, to try to create those chances. The chances didn't come, but that's going to take time. I mean, Tuchel will bed that in eventually. We do need time for that, but yeah. Spurs sat back. I mean, they couldn't even get out anyway. So you're playing against 10 men behind the ball, regardless, which is very difficult. And that's why Kovacic, that was the first time when he didn't play that. He should have played the pass. I can't believe he didn't play the pass to Pulisic. He was basically through. All they had to do was just a dink to the
Johnny,
right, and he was in.
Johnny, I know, but most players made a bad, because you're bringing up one bad decision he made. Every player made a bad decision in that game. So indicting Kovacic and not indicting those other players as well, I think that's wrong. To me, Jorginho and Kovacic,
it's all of them, right?
Jorginho and Kovacic were
it was everyone.
I would give it to Jorginho over Kovacic personally, because he got the goal. Then if you're gonna go that way. But for me, Mount was pivotal in how we linked the Kovacic and Jorginho domination in the middle to allow our forwards to have the movement to play, because the other players weren't, Odoi wasn't really doing it. I think I just put it down to fatigue of Odoi because he's been fantastic. So I think, and that's why he got taken off. But for me, Mount, he's got the technical ability, decision making was right. He just didn't. He didn't hit the races basically. And there's a lot of factors we've taken, like the weather and the maybe the players around him weren't quite on it. Werner's touch was awful as well. So there's those factors. But I'll say with Werner.
Yeah, I hear you, Johnny.
I don't know,
Johnny. We
feel like,
Monster. We got boys. We got Daniel here who wanted to talk about. Go one second, Johnny. One second. You can come back to it. 2 seconds. Yeah, 2 seconds. Daniel's here as well. Daniel wanted to jump on the chat about Mason Mount. He's been in the chat saying, well, as soon as you talk about Mason Mount, send me the link. So he's here as well. He wants to have his say. Go on, Daniel.
Everybody knows I love Mason, right? Because I think Mason has everything. And all that he's missing is the final end product in terms of finishing. And that's it. And that comes with age. He's 22. At 25, all those shots are going in, right? If he keeps practicing them, which you can tell he's that type of player who is going to practice all his shots, is going to practice finishing, is going to stay late and practice all those different things. So for me, I see that coming. And I don't understand Chelsea fans who don't see what a great player he's going to be. You know what I mean? Like, because you can see he's getting into all these positions. His movement is great. He's aggressive. He works hard. And I just think it's hilarious that we Chelsea fans, we try to pit players against each other. We're pitting Havertz against Mount. That's clear, right? Most people don't want Mount to start because they want Havertz to. And they believe Havertz is a better talent. And what they don't understand that they're doing is you're putting that pressure on Havertz. Because if you're telling me I'm not putting any pressure on any of the players. I think Mount is great. I think Havertz is great and it's going to be good, right? But Mount is doing it right now. So if you're telling me he shouldn't start, he should be benched, Havertz should start, then I have the same expectation that you're putting on Mount on Havertz, right? Because people say, well, Mount, the only thing missing is he's not scoring enough goals, he's not getting enough assists. So if Havertz starts starting, you're telling me he's going to get all those goals and all those assists, even though he's also 21 and he's going to be inconsistent.
What you're saying, Daniel, what you're saying is true. It has to be on a level playing field. I feel like there's like two sections of the Chelsea fan base. You've got, let's say you've got your proper Chelsea guys who are, they love Mason Mount and they're going to, defend him no matter what. And then you've got the other people who are gonna just criticize Mount no matter what. So there's no middle ground between the two, innit?
Right.
But at the same time, it's just like you're right. If Mount doesn't play, or if Mount plays, we do expect a bit more from him. But at the same time, if Havertz plays or whoever plays in his position, we expect the exact same thing. He's got if Mount's not bringing it, okay.
Don't know Monster, do you?
We don't expect the same thing.
But you know what, Monster? We've been relying on.
When last Pulisic scored? Pulisic hasn't scored or assisted in 10, 15 games now. I haven't heard.
He's been poor.
I haven't heard the same level of criticism.
He hasn't. But that's the thing. He hasn't been poor. All that's missing is his final. The same thing we're saying.
He has been poor because that's his strengths, Monster. As an individual, it's about being direct and dribbling the ball.
Monster, I'm okay with you saying he hasn't been poor. It's just the finishing. If you were saying the exact same thing for Mount, but the problem I see is, Mount has been terrible because
I've never said Mount's been terrible.
No, not you. I'm saying this is the narrative I'm getting from fans and Jam. No, and we know some of the fans who mentioned this, right? Is
David?
No, his finishing was terrible, so he was terrible. but also Pulisic's finishing has been awful. Werner's finishing has been awful. That's a problem with a lot of our players. If every other player's finishing was on point and Mount was terrible, then you can pinpoint and say, you know what, he's messing up everything else because he's not finishing all these chances everyone is creating for him. No one is creating any chances for him. He's creating those chances.
Do you know what's incredible to see as a rival? I just want to say that everybody was on at Frank for playing Mount. Why is Mount playing? Why is Mount and because of that, the agenda's now set. The agenda's set with Mount.
Yep.
Okay,
No,
wait,
because
hold on.
Lampard saw what Mount has got, and Tuchel can see it as well. But all Tuchel's come out and said is, look, we need to just develop him, get his final third play up to scratch. But we've got to remember that Mount has been played very deep in a lot of games, which is not really where it suits him. He's more centre attacking mid, higher up the pitch. But the problem is, and the main problem is, and why Mount's getting on stick, is we have been too reliant on Mount because all of our other forwards have been shockingly bad and they don't deliver. And the problem is they don't help Mount. So
I think what Lampard.
Let Daniel talk. Let's let Daniel talk as well. Go on, Daniel.
Big up Daniel as well.
Love my bro. I understand what you're saying. I totally get it, and I get what everyone is saying. But I think you need to we need to track back a bit and look at the root as to why there's a divide. Not just at a player like Mount, but why there's a divide in players in general. Let's look at someone like Bruno Fernandes. Why does he split opinion in the fan base? Because when he doesn't perform, people look to him and say that, oh, if he doesn't do this, then he's not performing. That's the reason why there's a split. Someone like Sterling as well. If Sterling's not performing, people look at his ability overall as a player. Oh, maybe he's not good enough and this and that. And when you look at the Mount situation, the reason why there's a split is because it's a mixture of things. You look at what the Lampard situation, playing him in games where maybe he shouldn't have played because he didn't deserve to, like the merit thing. There were players who were you can look across the whole span of Lampard's tenure, and there were times where we felt, okay, cool, Mount shouldn't have played, and he's kind of been scapegoated because people have said he's not good enough. But that's when our opinions we need to be very careful in our opinions and make sure that just because a player doesn't deserve to play in one game,
right,
it rounds our whole view and depiction of, bro. People are jumping back on Maddison's bandwagon. Maddison has been playing poor for the whole season and has only come into form. Do you know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Let me just quickly say. I think the situation with Mount was that it all started when at the beginning of the season there was no Hakim Ziyech, there was no Pulisic. They were injured. We had no wingers. And Lampard persisted with playing Mount on the wing over Callum Hudson-Odoi. And I think that was where a lot of the issues came from. Now, ever since then, he's been playing in the middle. There's still people criticizing him. And I think that's wrong. If he's playing in the middle, he's playing in his preferred position. That's cool. But when he was playing on the wing, it's like over Hudson-Odoi. What is he going to give over Hudson-Odoi in that position? There was nothing he could have given over Callum Hudson. I guess most people, were saying that, he tracks back and he presses. That's not really a good enough reason to play a midfielder on a wing over a winger. Do you get what I mean?
I think most of the reason we spoke about this on your show, that Odoi was being eased in. I don't think he was ready at that point, and also trustworthy with his defensive game to put him in. I know what you're saying. Naturally, you'd put Odoi in on the right and have Mount, in the middle. But I just felt like at that time Lampard wasn't willing to take that risk, because I get it, but now you're starting to see, because Odoi got fitness now, he's looking dangerous.
I think
poor
decisions that Lampard has made, because Lampard is not the perfect coach, and he obviously he just got fired, right? So his poor decisions, putting Mount on the left, shouldn't cloud the judgment of fans who are assessing these players. We should be more understanding to know, well, he's not playing in his position. And the problem I had is people were understanding when it was Havertz. If Havertz is playing off the right and has a terrible game, it's, well, why is he playing off the right? And he's having a terrible game off the right, or he's having a terrible game playing as the false nine, because he did play as a false nine in his second game. He played off the right in his first game.
Can I say my 2 cents on that?
I think that's the way it's going to go, Daniel. I think Tuchel's going to want to play Havertz as a false nine with Werner off, because I think that's the only way you can get the best out of Werner.
Exactly. Because it's Tuchel doing it, but my whole point is what Daniel said. Daniel said, there's probably some games that Mount shouldn't have started. Yeah, probably 10 games out of the 80 he started. You know what I'm saying? It's not. those shouldn't be enough for people to have the opinions that they have. There are probably 5 games this season where he should have rested, but those 5 games aren't enough for you to say he doesn't deserve to start or he doesn't deserve. And I know Daniel isn't saying that, but I'm just piggybacking off that point to other people.
Let's start. But I get you, Daniel.
Yeah.
Daniel, I get you.
If
Let's
I
let
hadn't
Slens talk. He's with us.
yesterday, it would have
Hey,
been.
I do
Yeah,
have to get out of it though.
boys.
Gem, I gotta get out of it.
Monster. Go on, bro. No worries. That's cool, my man.
Please, man.
Thank you for coming on.
No
See you
worries.
later, man. See you later, bro.
So I want to say about
Slens is
Mount.
with us.
Yes, bro.
Slens talks here. Go on, bro. What do you want to say,
I
my
just
bro?
wanted to say a couple of things about Mount, obviously, just to piggyback off what Daniel and Monster said. I think when it comes to Mount, right, I remember Johnny mentioning, giving Hudson-Odoi time to develop. Now, what I want to say is, when it comes to Mount, I don't think he was ever given, like, he was given that patience to develop and to grow by playing him constantly. I think if you look at Lampard's tenure, he played the most games under Lampard, and some people think that's justifiable, some people might think it's not. But I think for me, if you're a young player who's just come from the first season, last season, and developing into this season, I think it doesn't make much sense to me to play him every single game when he's not on form, he's not always playing well, to play him through. And so I even think Lampard's system was almost, I think Mount was almost the main piece in it. I think the system was built around Mount. I think, listen, that doesn't make sense for a team like Chelsea because, listen,
Mount is the main piece now. If you watch the last game.
Sorry?
Slens, sorry, Daniel.
Mount is the main
say...
piece now. If you watch the last game. He's the main piece now. Like, what are we saying?
I would say he's the main piece now, but I would say Havertz is also like unavailable. There's a lot of people unavailable. I understand Mount is playing those last 2 games, but for me, it seems like, listen, for me, Mount, I have nothing against Mount. I'll never have anything against one of my own players. But if Mount doesn't have that end product, which he can develop, then he will never be a top player like in the league for me. Like, he will never be a top 5 cam in the league. That's what, as a cam, you need to have that end product, either it's assists or goals. And I don't think Mount does that enough. Like, we can look at everything else. Yeah.
No, sorry, I just got to shoot for 2 seconds. Indiana, take over, yeah? 2 seconds, I'll be back.
Slens, my point was saying about easing Cho in wasn't, I didn't mean ease him in for progression reasons. I meant ease him in because he come from a really bad injury. That's my reason. It wasn't. I get what you're saying about Mount being eased in as well, but now Mount is 22 and he's got a lot of games under his belt. That is only going to benefit us as a team.
He was given that time, bro. He was given that time to play games. Like, I don't think anyone else had the same patience from Lampard when it comes to any other player. For example, Tomori. Tomori is the best example. Like, that guy got taken out the squad or got taken out the first XI. I still don't know why. I still don't know why he's still on loan while we have Rudiger and Zuma sat on the bench. Like, I think Tomori.
Do you think I can tell you why? I can tell you why he's out on loan.
Yeah.
Because clubs will only pay money for players that they want. That's why.
Yeah.
You can try and push out any player you like to a team, but they're only going to take and pay you money for a player that they actually want. And it's good for Tomori because if he's not going to play, every game or a lot of games, they're going to want to develop him so they can get a good price for him. That's Chelsea.
That's what I don't get. Yeah. I don't get why he's got shipped out in the first place. That's my point because I do think because he played well in the beginning of the season. He had a goal. He played against Ajax. He was quite well. So he just got shipped out really just out of nowhere, kind of. He had a bad game against Bournemouth and got shipped out. But I'm saying if people like that are not given opportunities, they're given time to sit on the bench, then why is Mount given so many opportunities? That's my point. It's like there's no balance.
I think
you can't say that Reece was. Hold on, if Reece was given all that opportunity too, he was starting. Most of the games he pushed Aspie out. Aspie started every single game for us for 3 straight years before Lampard came in and stopped that. But it's like, you want to go with there's favoritism for Mount. What about Reece? And Reece had a lot of concentration issues that he still played in. I can name about 6 or 7 games where he did have that. He had poor form and he still played. And that's why he got benched now. And Aspie came in, firstly, to just kind of settle things up. And Lampard's defense was completely terrible. So I understand why he wanted to go with a little more experience instead of Tomori coming in, because we were conceding goals like crazy. So decisions you can understand, even though you don't agree with them. You can say, you know what, that was, that it ended up getting him fired. But I can understand why he did it. And it wasn't based on, to me, it wasn't based on favoritism. Because he kept playing Pulisic, even though he was very poor, where Hudson-Odoi.
Daniel, the problem comes though when you're trying to accommodate for Mount at the expense of players' base position. As in, Mount. If I ask you, what was Mount's position last season? What was Lampard's favorite position for Mount last season? Because in my mind, maybe I'm wrong, but just remind me, everyone who watched Chelsea, obviously, he played in so many positions last year across the front line, played left wing, right wing, played behind, played centre mid, like, so there was a number of positions. So he was literally, Mount was like number one name on the team sheet. Wherever like Mount must play. And that was the problem. Because we as Chelsea, well, let me not speak for everyone. Me personally, I just felt that Mount hadn't commanded that authority yet as a player to say he must play regardless. I'm not
who else did we have, Daniel? But who else did we have apart from Mount?
But Daniel, I think Mount's problem was.
Let me give a perfect example quickly. Let me give it quickly, and then you look. Basically, I can't remember the games, and it's really, really vague in my mind. But last season, do you remember when everyone was on Mount's neck so much that he had to take him out of the firing line? And we actually started playing well when Mount came out. But then he put Mount back into the side for the last run of games, and Mount started playing well. Mount got us the goal to make us qualify for the Champions League. So, fam, no one's saying, or I'm not saying that Mount's not a good player. I'm just saying in general. You have to understand.
He's going to be a leader for us. I'm telling you, he's top draw, man.
I agree.
He's a special player.
There's no doubt. Of course he will. There's no doubt. Yeah, I agree.
Jem, I got
to
dip because I'll go get my daughter from nursery. But thanks for
no worries.
having me on. And leave Mount alone,
That's
man.
fine.
He's a young kid. Let him develop. Come on,
Daniel. Just to counteract that point, right? I think Mount's Mount's mistake was being fit. Honestly, his mistake was always being fit because we're forgetting last season. Conte was injured a whole lot. Pulisic was injured for most of the entire season. Hudson-Odoi was injured for most of the entire season, right? And then your only other options was Willian and Pedro, right? And they are inconsistent as it gets. Willian was probably our best winger last season. Mount was the only one out of our midfielders and
exactly. We didn't have anyone else. That's my point.
He was the only one who was fit the entire season. The only player who was fit the entire season. And
that doesn't mean
boys. Sorry. I'm starting to over because there's other people here as well. Rodrigo, are you there?
Yes, my like Jem. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. How are you? You alright?
Yeah, chilling still. Yeah, I've had enough of this Max. I love Mason Mount. He's one of us. But come on, please. The press needs to lay down this guy. Every single presser, they keep asking Tuchel about Mount. You see today, he was smiling. He's just like, come on, man. I've got 22 other people. The kid is doing well, but we need to stop putting.
Twitter, man.
We need to stop. We're putting too much pressure on him, right? He needs to enjoy his football. He needs to be left alone. Let him breathe. Let him. Yeah, he's not our best player, but he's one of our most influential players. So we need to let him be. Let him enjoy his football. And as for the game yesterday, I thought he had a really good game. His final third game needs to improve. He's only 22. He'll improve. Yeah, but I think we miss Havertz for the game yesterday because what you notice, what Tuchel did was to split Dyer and what's the other guy? What's the other Spurs defender? He wanted to split them to leave a lot of gap in the middle. And if we had someone like Havertz making those runs in the middle, and I feel like Havertz has probably maybe has a better final third touch compared to Mount, but yeah, we just need to let Mount breathe. You need to. Yeah, he doesn't need to be in the spotlight.
Look,
you need to.
He will be under Tuchel. He will be.
I think that the thing is with Mason Mount, right? What we forget very clearly as well is that he was his first season in the Premier League, which is meant to be the hardest league in the world last season under Frank Lampard. Yeah, this is now his second season in the Premier League for Chelsea at the top level, and people were expecting him. Certain individuals are expecting him to be like the new. I don't know, Kaka or something. You know what I mean? For example, like, we need to calm down and understand that he's going to make mistakes. He's a young lad. The young lad's going to make mistakes.
And,
do you know what I mean?
So one thing you forgot, he plays with a lot of passion. He's like Mount is basically like one of us putting a Chelsea kit on and go on the pitch because He's basically a Chelsea fan playing for Chelsea. So that's what he does. A lot
Lampard
of things. You
vibes.
see him running around.
But
Sometimes
it
run
seems
around
like
like a headless
our
chicken.
fans don't really care about that anymore, though. Our fans don't really care about having a player actually play with passion, actually love the club. It's like, who really cares about
Listen, could I add something to the Mason Mount thingy? You say he runs around like a headless chicken, but I'm just looking at the stats right now in terms of key passes and chances created. He's ranked 9th in the top 5 leagues in the world. The only people ahead of him in the Premier League are Bruno, KDB, and Jackie Grealish.
There you
And
go.
at his age group, he's ranked 2nd behind Jadon Sancho. So
22 as well.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that you're saying that he's running around and not creating chances, but stats show otherwise. Like he has, like in my opinion, he has been creating chances.
And can we
So
remind
why is he not
each
clear about
other
that?
as
No,
well?
I'm not targeting you guys, but I'm just saying that I'm targeting people who have the mountain agenda, saying that he doesn't create chances but he's like top 10 in top 5 leagues.
Can I just give context to those stats, by the way? Listen, I'm not a Mount hater, I swear. I just want to put context to the stats that you said. Basically, he does take all of our set pieces. He does take all of our corners. I think that counts as chances created. So that falls under that category as well. But listen, I'm not saying that Mount is doesn't create chances at all. I'm saying he needs to improve on that aspect of his game. But with regards to those stats, there's context to that. That's all I'm going to say.
Do you not agree though? Every time Mount got the ball, did you not? Because I always feel I feel confident when Mount gets the ball out of any of our front three right now. Do you not feel that way?
Do you know what the problem is? Sorry. Yeah, go on.
It depends on the area on the pitch. Mount is
Any area.
He's very good at picking up the right spot. If you watch his game, sometimes like at the beginning, I thought, what are people so against this kid? So what I do most games, I focus on Mount and see where he is on the pitch. And what he does is he's so clever. If you see whenever Jorginho or Kovacic pick up the ball, what Mount does is he goes into the right channel between the left back and the right center back. He picks up those areas, and then when it doesn't work, you see him popping up on the left. And just to give you an option on the ball, exactly.
It's what he brings to the team, and that's why he should have been man of the match yesterday because of what he did. It's what he did for the team and how he played. Everyone else just did the job.
Yeah,
doing your job.
Can I ask a final question? But
we're gonna tie it up very soon, boys, because I've been nearly gone 2 hours. But this has been a great show. Thank you everyone that's in the chat still. 50 of you's here, 60 of you. We're nearly at 90 likes. One of our biggest shows actually. So we appreciate that massively as well. Go on, Slens talks. You go, bro.
Yeah. So it's not a question about Mount. I'm gonna just go off the topic. I want to talk about Timo Werner, and I want to talk about the penalty specifically. Like, do you guys think our forward should take the penalty from now on? Do you think Werner should have taken that penalty, basically? I personally, I do, because I want our strikers to get goals.
I think Werner should have stepped up and taken it, but he's just low on confidence at the moment. He should have picked it up and he should have put it down and gone, you know what? I'm the striker. I need a goal. I need to do it. That's what his confidence should be.
But Jim, if he missed it, I mean, you're talking him going rock bottom.
Can I say something? I think him not taking that penalty was it for me. I don't think he's going to make it here at Chelsea. I'm sorry to say.
Let's just say something about that, yeah. This happened with Didier Drogba when he first came to Chelsea, right? Everyone at the end of that season was calling him out and telling him to disappear and he was useless, yeah? It does take time for certain individuals. Timo Werner scored 30-odd goals in the last 2 seasons in the Bundesliga. He's not a crap striker. Let's get it right.
It's not about his ability to me. It's absolutely not about that. It's not about that to me. It's about his mentality. Drogba would have taken it even if he missed, because he missed the last one. He would have wanted to.
But Daniel, come on. Drogba's first season was atrocious. Like, I think when you look at Werner and Havertz, right? Havertz is an exception because he had COVID, and I've said it from day one. That's really going to take time. I mean, it's a serious thing. So with Werner, I think we're not playing to his strength.
No,
so
Johnny boy, I think I disagree. I think Werner had a really good game yesterday. I'm not saying he didn't have a good game.
I'm not saying he didn't have a good game.
He had a good tactical game.
Yeah.
Tactical. What he was asked to do, he did it really well. But he needs to work on his first touch, his ball control. Those
But
are
that's confidence. That's confidence. That'll
confidence,
come.
exactly.
That'll
Yeah,
come.
that will come. Yeah, that will come. Yeah.
Boys,
I don't
Hassan, go on. Slens, go on. You can have the say, and then we'll
sorry.
go to Hassan, and then we'll call it. Go on.
Bro, I just think with Werner, we have a lot of like excuses about he's not a slow and striker. The system doesn't suit him. He makes a lot of movements. Bro, I just don't want to hear excuses anymore. Like, you're a 47 million striker. Like, I expect you to score goals, man. It's just like he's on the board. He's not good enough. It's as simple as that. Like,
not everyone's Bruno Slens. Not everyone comes in and just hits the ground running.
No, of
for
course,
us. You know what I mean? Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? Right,
go on, Johnny.
Jem, as well. I want you to answer first, Jem, but because I never really got from you whether you always sort of said, I'm Lampard in, or I'm not sure, I'll give him to the end of the season. But my thing is, I've heard a lot on a lot of streams, right, and on Twitter, everyone's saying if Lampard stays in the job and doesn't get top 4, he should be sacked. So my question is, if Tuchel doesn't get top 4, why is he an exception? Going by Roman's normal way of doing things, why is he an exception? Why should he not be sacked? Because we can't lose Champions League football. We need that.
He's picked up halfway through a season, to be fair to him. So the board will look at it and say, well, to be fair to him, he's not had a full season. And to be fair, we was in a mess. Let's be serious. We were sitting in 8th. The guys had to come in and implement his style of football in a short space of time. Bearing in mind, you guys all know, we're playing twice a week at the moment. You know what I mean? It's not like he's having a full training session for a week and then going into the game the week after. It's back-to-back games. I think it's very hard to sit here and say if he finishes 5th or 6th, that they will get rid of him. I don't think they will. I think what they will do is they'll sit down with him and go, okay, you've had a full season. You were 2 points off. I think we'll get Champions League. I'm saying it. I think we will. But if we don't, I think what they'll do is they will sit with him and they'll discuss with him what areas they think he believes he needs. Because so far, from what I've seen, he's getting players to play. They're playing for him. That's the first thing you need to do when you're a manager. Secondly, it's about how quickly they implement his style of play. Again, they're getting there. You know what I mean? You can already see it. The only thing that I feel like we do need to do, and that again, he deserves the time, is that we need to be a bit more clinical. But that's just down to the players and training and them just shooting at the blooming Kepa. Just put Kepa in goal with his crap and just shoot at him. Do you know what I mean? They're going to go in all the time. Do you know what I mean? So,
I think what you just said earlier is the same thing the board probably thinks. You just said confidently, I think we're going to make top 4. You're not hoping. You're not. You really believe because of the team we have and the results that we have.
We should be with that team. That team's too good enough to not to. There's too much talent there.
That to me says Lampard had play. He lost plays in the dressing room. Then that's what it says to me. Because
man management. He definitely.
He lost the dressing room, didn't he?
If he doesn't make top 4, he could get fired. He only has an 18-month contract, so they don't really care. Like they expect him to make top 4, just like we expect to make top 4 now, based on our team and based on his level. So.
But what I'll say to that is that you're right. I do think top 4 is a very possible thing that so we can achieve this season. But I do think because he came in the middle of the season, I think however good we do, we still need to rely on the top 4 dropping off. So it's not all in our hands that we could do so well. But if the top 4 don't drop off, then we still won't make our above them. So I think it's unfair because it's not in our hands at the end of the day. Let's be honest. Unfortunately, it's not.
Did you hear what Tuchel said as well in the presser last night? He was asked by Matt Law, do you think you can make top 4 and this and that? And Tuchel just turned around and said, he just goes, I don't really care, I'm not interested.
Yeah, look, boys, let's let Hassan, what do you want? Do you want to say anything? I know you've not been here. You've been talking, but is there anything you wanted to say before I finish off, mate?
Yeah, I'm just saying, after these 2 next 2 weeks, the final week of February, all the top 10 teams have got hard fixtures, including us. So if we manage to capitalize on it, then we'll probably judge and see whether we're close enough to get top 4 or not. But March fixtures, oh my God, that's going to be a hard month.
I see that.
That's gonna show whether Tuchel's tactics are going to work or if the players really want to play for Tuchel. March is the month where I feel like that will probably decide his future or not, whether he'll be a long-term or short-term manager.
I like what I've seen so far. I like what I've seen so far.
What I'm going to
Good.
do is I'm just going to quickly show you what Hassan was just talking about. This let's just
Their
quickly.
fixtures are rough, but we've got the squad to do it though. To be fair.
We just need our final third to
So
start banging
if you
goals.
look at what we've got, we've got. Can you see it? Yeah. Can you all see it? Yeah. So we've got Sheffield United, Newcastle, and then he's after Atletico, which is on the 23rd of Feb. We've got Manchester United on the 28th of Feb. We've got Everton on the 6th of March. Then we've got Leeds on the 13th. Then we go back to Atletico. Then we've got Liverpool on the 20th of March. And then the next game we
Killer
play
run.
is in April, which is West Brom. So March is a it's going to be a hard, but we got to do it. We're Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? We've got to get, what is it? 3, 6,
Exactly,
9, 12 points. 3, 6. There's 12 points in that in March. So if we can get 10 out of 12, and we can beat
I really
Everton, we
want
can
to
beat
beat
Leeds,
United, man.
we could
I really
beat
want to
Man
beat
United and Liverpool on that day, even if we drew one of them and beat the other.
We haven't been United since 2017.
Whatever,
so-
we can do that. We
To
can
be
do
fair,
that, honestly. So yeah,
I've
exactly.
said it. We're
gonna-
winning Champions League, boys. We're winning it this year. I'm telling you, we're gonna win it.
Don't jinx it, mate.
We're gonna win it, bro.
No, but
What do you-
Anyway,
what do you
boys,
guys- Oh, okay, cool.
I was gonna
thanks for all
add to
coming
it.
on.
Okay.
Go on, Hassan. Go on. Go on.
I was
What
gonna
was you
say, I was gonna add one final thing. I know the fixtures are hard,
Yeah.
but we've got that squad depth to like rotate and play like different players. Like if you compare our bench to like all the others, besides arguably City, we've probably got like the second best in terms of squad depth, I would say. So I
Have you-
think March
have you
March
seen
is
City's
doable, but it's
fixtures?
gonna be hard.
Sorry, I just realised. Have you seen City's fixtures? They're so
Yeah.
they're bad, man.
Because they've had an easy run of games,
Yeah.
so that's why.
Yeah, they're going to struggle with injuries too. I think our squad is going to get us through this tough time. Everybody else is going to suffer.
But injuries are going to play a big key. If we we can't have too many injuries to the squad. Losing Thiago Silva is probably better than later in my eyes. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully he comes back in.
It's our bench last game, and
Yeah.
wasn't on there. Havertz, Zuma wasn't on there. So it's like we have the strongest squad. I think we do. I think
I agree.
He has a better manager.
We've got to sacrifice Silva for Champions League games, man. We need to keep him fit for Champions League. Silva.
Yeah,
We've got to
I
play.
agree. Look, so guys, appreciate you all coming on. It's been a great show. Thank you for that. For everyone in the chat, appreciate your support as always as well. We've nearly hit 90 likes, which is one of our biggest numbers in terms of likes for a show, which we appreciate so much. And I appreciate everyone here that's also joined and made it entertaining today as well. You can let's shout out your socials quickly. Johnny, where can everyone find you, man?
I'm on Twitter mainly. I got suspended on my main account, but my new account is Johnny Burner account. Follow me, I'll follow you back, boys. And then on Insta, Johnny Boy Blue Free. You know what I mean?
I love
Burner,
it.
baby,
I love it.
Burner.
I love it. I love it. It's so cool. And everyone get following Johnny on his burner account, as he says. Daniel, where can we find you, my man?
Oh yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Dan Adewus, DANADEWUS. I tweet Chelsea, basketball, different things. Don't abuse me though. I will block you.
Follow me, bro. I won't remember that. I won't remember that handle. Just find me, bro.
Hassan, where can they find you, mate?
I mean, I'll be around Twitter. My @'s unnamed Reka, and I'll probably be out and about on Monster Stream and all that. And I've got one final thing to say. I might not have the chance to say again. Pray for the rivals.
Oh, he said it. He had to do it, didn't he? He had to do it. Too much monster platform, that is. I tell you. No, I'm joking.
No. That was the best
Rodrigo,
time to
what
say
you
that.
saying?
Yeah, chilling.
Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Go on.
I'm not really big on social, but you can find me on Instagram, Rodrigo Princeton.
Yeah,
and that's it. I say keep supporting Chelsea. Yeah.
Yes. Bro.
Let's go.
Thank you,
Sheffield
bro.
United is a tough game, boy.
Yeah.
The Chelsea.
Yeah. Rodrigo, thank you for coming on. This is your first time seeing you on here, bro. So hopefully we'll get you on more
I
again,
always
man.
watch you guys on the terrace, and Monster Champion Kai. Kai is one funny motherfucker. That guy.
Ah,
Am I allowed to swear?
He's something else, isn't he? He's another story, Kai. But that's for another topic. Definitely another topic on Kai. But
all right,
Slens,
safe, brother.
See you later, mate. Take care. Slens, where can we find you, man?
Just as you can see here, right here, Slens Talks. Just one word on Twitter. You can find me on there. Just follow me. I follow you back, of course. Thank you for the shout out, bro.
No worries, bro. No worries. Listen, look, we've had 60 of you guys tuned in with us all the way through. 65, 70. It's been great. We've appreciated your support as always, guys, on this channel. We're nearly at the 1,000 mark as well. So please smash the like button and please subscribe if you haven't done so. You can find me. Big up GNA. You can find me, Ads, and Sophia in the description below. Our links to our Twitters are there. You can find me here on GNA TV, also on the Football Terrace, Monsters, Kai's channel, you name it. I'm pretty much here, there, everywhere. We've also got a Discord channel as well, so you guys can actually have a chat on there and mix up with everyone, including me and some of the hosts as well. Tonight is that Chelsea ladies show with Lambs and Sophia. They've got the usual ladies on there. They're going to be talking the game. We're actually trying to get a Spurs lady on as well. So, that may be the case later on. But, we appreciate your support, guys. Thank you again, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Peace.
It's like it's playtime when it's playtime.